In 1930, the Apollo Theatre launched a program called Showtime at the Apollo. It's still running. Launched a career of Ella Fitzgerald. Since then, that program has been basically inspired so many other TV programs that do the same thing, like America Got Talent. So, since the time of Ella Fitzgerald, many musicians have performed here, including Joe Ellington, Diana Ross, Elvis Presley, the Jackson 5, the Beatles. If you go on a visit, they share with you the history of the Apollo, not just about the building, the neighborhood, but also question of who's who performed the Apollo from the 30s to the 40s, 40s to the 50s, 50s to the 60s, all the way to the present day, including James Brown. And then on the right side is the Teresa Tower, used to be known as the Plaza of Harlem on the right side here, built in 1910. In 1962, Fidel Castro and Nikita Khrushchev stayed here when the UN was in session. It's an office tower today. It's a landmark building on the right side here. In 1962, he was a Russian leader and a Soviet leader, Nikita Khrushchev. Visit America, spent 2 weeks across America, visited farms, factories, everywhere he went. An army of the media followed him. Take a look on the right, the Riverside Church is on the other side, where we made our stop for the Bronx. And everywhere he went, he kept saying, you guys are doing great, but guess what? We're going to catch up and we're going to be better than you because history is on our side. We have a lot of tree branches hanging low here, so take a look on the right. You see the statue there of Mother Hale. She's holding a baby. She took care of kids whose parents died because of AIDS in the 1980s, using her own resources. Later on, the organization still runs programs that take care of kids in need. Mother Hale, because the AIDS epidemic in the 1980s was so rampant in a very short time. And in front of us there is an entrance to Marcus Garvey Park. It's one of the city's, one of Harlem's larger parks. It has huge swimming pool, gym. It's also hilly. And from that hill, you can see almost southern Bronx. You can see all around the area. At one time, it used to have this elevated stand that used to have firefighters there 24 hours a day, 100 years ago, to monitor the area in case they see smoke. They notify their colleagues where to rush to. Long before communication became easier. So this is a historic district here. If you look at the street color sign, it's brown in color, means the area is off limits. Developers want to build another modern skyscraper here. The response is, please go ahead, but build it in economics. Out here, community will fight you tooth and nail. And it's a lot of brownstone houses on the side streets here. See there on the left side, beautiful brownstones. Same thing on the right side here. If you buy any of these brownstone houses, you have to take care of these. You cannot turn around and get rid of these because they give character to the area. And that's the reason why this area here is a historic district, because of brownstones. See how wide the street is, this avenue here. Take it directly to Central Park, where you can watch bays. See that area has so many trees. One of the best local to watch bays in Central Park. It's also very hilly. You don't see from here that the area is very hilly. If you go inside the park, it's actually very rocky there. And then on the left side here is the Harlem Success Academy. It's a charter school, also one of the city's most successful charter schools. Charter schools are privately run, public funded. Notice the street color sign here, green. So what do you see? New buildings. These were built in the last 18-20 years. Replace the whole neighborhood. Older buildings replace new ones. Even this one on the left side here is about 18 years old. See this corner building here? These are condominiums here. And also notice that buildings around here are not that tall. The reason is because this area here is basically the bedrock is almost non-existent. But behind us there, where the church is, is where Bill Clinton, former president, ran his organization, the Brown Office Tower behind us there. And then the dome in front here is the mosque founded by Malcolm X after he left the Nation of Islam. So if you take a look on the left side, behind the church, left side of the road is the spire of the church. You see that brown tower, office tower? Left side of the road, see the church spire? Yellowish in color. Those are offices where former President Bill Clinton ran his organization, Global Initiative. Opposite side is Sylvia's restaurant. Opened by Sylvia Woods in 1962. And then you have Harlem Market on the right side here. Okay, they have seats upstairs. Those guys are waiting for us. And look like they're going to the Bronx. Harlem Market sells all kind of, look on the right, sells all kind of bags, t-shirts, sneakers, hats. And then in front of us, that elevated train, those are train tracks by the way, for trains heading to New Haven, Connecticut, Bridgeport. That section there is East Harlem, also known as Spanish Harlem. Now, as you make a right turn here on the left side is a Marcus Garvey Park, marks the beginning of Fifth Avenue. See where the trees are? That's the Marcus Garvey Park in Spokane, Illinois. We're going to stay on Fifth Avenue all the way to 59th Street. What comes to your mind when someone says Fifth Avenue? Shopping, what else? It is not just shopping. When you go shopping south of 59th Street, sometimes you never be paid. The cashier looks at you and shake your head and say, I check what you're buying, and shake your head and say, are you aware that here I don't take cash here and I don't take credit cards here. So how would you like to pay? Will you be paying with your arm or are you paying with your leg? Or both? You don't want to pay those, just run and disappear. It's a way of telling you that by the time you finish paying, you'll be broke. Expensive shopping. For the most part, you also get good quality stuff. On side street here, you can see the Cathedral of St. John the Divine is all the way up there on the right side. I can't see because of the trees here. This is a Duke Ellington circle here. Man with the piano on the right side here. Some of you are familiar with him. See the piano up here? Duke Ellington on the right side here, a very famous musician. On the left side is Tito Puente, another jazz musician from Harlem, also very famous. On the right side is the Harlem Lake. Partner around here, spend hours promising each other heaven. So it's one of the beautiful sections in the center of Harlem, on the right side here, Healy also. So this is where the Battle of Harlem Heights was fought here. That's why you can see the American flag up on the hill there. See the American flag? All the way to the other side. We have a stop here, folks, so anyone going to the Museum of the City of New York or El Barrio, anyone getting off here, 103? Barrio, no one. Take a look on the right side. You might see a bride and a groom there on the right side. Look at this side there. See, beautiful, beautiful on there. That part's kind of block of view. Many times this way New Yorkers come to basically film their weddings. And you know sometimes what they do, if those folks who are getting married come from somewhere else in America, when they see double-decker buses passing by here, because they're in such a good mood, they call Gray Lines. Hey, can we have those double-decker buses here to come and pick up our guests here? Where to? Chinatown. Do you know one of the areas where they're meeting in Manhattan? You come and pick them up here, the bride and the groom, and they're so excited because it's nice weather. Instead of being in a coach, they want a double-decker bus. They do that so many times. So this is El Barrio on the left side here, Spanish Museum. Today the top part is residential. So no one getting up here, Gary. On the left side is a museum of the City of New York. This institution is open until 6. It's dedicated to show the city's history. Just like Paris has their own museum, same thing in the city here. I'm sure many cities have their own museums as well. In other words, if you want to see the city's oldest map, is kept here. You want to see the bedroom lifestyle of John D. Rockefeller, his bedroom is also kept here, reconstructed here, bed kept here. If you want to see some of the costumes that are used on Broadway, it's kept here, or used on Broadway, kept here. You get the point. And then on the left side here is Mount Sinai, one of the top hospitals in America. One of the celebrities admitted here about a few days ago, passed away 2 days ago, Joan Rivers, Mount Sinai. And then on the right side, it's all part of Central Park. Look at the topography of Central Park. It varies from one area to another. When Carvel Wuenhoenstede designed Central Park, one of their guiding principles was, do not do what the city is doing. The city was busy leveling Manhattan. And the idea was to keep Central Park as natural as possible. While they're doing a lot of changes because they wanted the natural beauty of the park to be kept. Planted literally thousands of trees, shrubs, flowers. Call it the lungs of the city. You know, one of the unique experiences I had on this bus was we were passing by here. These two squirrels were chasing each other. And then they came down this way and one fell right there on top of somebody who was taking a nap. It just came down, hit the guy, and it ran straight here and went down the staircases. The next thing I heard it was say, hey! He opened the door, it was gone. I was so impressed that it had such an intelligence. It knew exactly where to run to, not the opposite direction. Went downstairs. I'm sure it told the driver, you open this door or else your throat is gone. That was quite unique. It was amazing because it happened in such a short time. And of course, one of our customers was shocked. You know, the squirrel just fell on him. Ran down. Said, hey, don't sleep when the tour guy is talking, man. Otherwise, you're in trouble. We're watching. That is one of those things that you do not expect. So, Fifth Avenue here is nowadays known as Museum Mile. It used to be known as the Millionaire's Mile. This brand building here is the International Center of Photography. So 100 years ago, the area was known as the Millionaire's Mile because many millionaires built beautiful mansions here, and most of those are gone. Here's one. So you can look on the left side here. So this mansion in the corner here, it's 5 stories. Was home to the Warburg family. Look at the whole building here. It's now home to the Jewish Museum. 5 family members, husband, wife, and their 3 kids. Another one on the left side here, corner building was home to a German banker. Is now home to St. David's School. Opposite side is where Andrew Carnegie lived here on the left side. 64 rooms for Andrew Carnegie, his wife and daughter. This is the Upper East Side here. We call the area Carnegie Hill, named in honor of Andrew Carnegie. If you look at this mansion here, see it has a big fence. The courtyard could accommodate 1,000 people for concerts. It was a lifestyle, Andrew Carnegie. The building used to have its own water filtering system as well. Today it serves as a museum of Cooper Hewitt National Design Museum. Not far from here is a water reservoir. It's 1.6 miles around it. And then across the street, second traffic light, is the Guggenheim Museum. So if you plan to go to the Guggenheim Museum or the Jewish Museum, this is going to be your stuff. Anyone getting off here? Guggenheim, Jewish Museum, show of hands. Nobody? Anyone getting off here? No one getting off here, Gary. No one getting off here. You see that inner loop where those guys are jogging? If you stay in that inner loop, it's 5.2 miles. If you run around 5 times the cover, marathon. That's why New York City's marathon began in the 1970s. So that's a water reservoir there. So no one getting off here, Gary, no one getting off here. And then across the street on the left side is a Guggenheim Museum. Designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, financed by Solomon Guggenheim. House is mostly contemporary art, by the way. Actually, when you look at the building is a work of art. The building itself is a work of art. take an elevator to the last floor, you come down through that ramp. The pictures are hanged against the wall. Crowned with a long career of America's most respected architect. You know what was strange? When that museum opened, people began to visit, walk inside, look at the pictures, paintings. Whenever they came out, all they talk about was the building. That angered many artists, till one of them said, you know what, this building I don't think is not that great. It must have been inspired by the shape of a toilet. Imagine you have something inside, people talk about what is outside. Create resentment. And then if you take a look across the street on the left side, that used to be one of the mansions of the Vanderbilt family. One of their descendants from mother's side, Gloria, is Anderson Cooper. It was in the market last year for $40 million. And it is home to Austrian and German art museum. As a mention on the left side here. And then John F. Kennedy lived here on the left side, number 1040. He lived second floor. Right here on the left side is where John F. Kennedy lived. He bought that condominium in 1962 for $220,000. When she passed away in 1990s, Guy bought it just 2 years later. He was offered $30 million for it. Okay, we're going to make a stop here for the night, folks. Let's make a stop here, Gary. I'll have customers living us in. This is one of the largest art museums in the Western Hemisphere. It's a Metropolitan Museum of Art. So we're going to make a stop after the traffic light. Make sure I don't leave anything with us, folks. And complimentary tea pots will be downstairs. And somebody with us. Going to make a stop here. Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Tusen gehen wir dann, stehen wir dann auf. Am Tusen stehen wir dann auf. Und nachher wächst man genau. Ja, verstehen wir nicht immer. Verstehen wir nicht immer.
So this is a mat on the right, covers 4 city blocks. Is also, you know what's cool about this institution? You could spend days in here instead of going to other museums around. Just this one. Of course, the different one is American Museum of Natural History, which is something completely different. But if you plan to visit museum in the city here it's a lot more to see. It's divided into wings. You go to the American wing, you see paintings, you see furniture, and a lot more. You go to the Egyptian wing. It has collections from around the world. High quality, from fashion to furniture, paintings to musical instruments, weapons of war, to the world of the punks. We have one section that is dedicated to the lifestyle of the uniforms, music, everything related to the world of the punks, for instance. So the best places to go when it is raining, whenever the weather is kind of harsh, go to the museum. Also have restaurants in there. And then across the street on the left side, look at those mansions. The whole block, beautiful mansions. Opposite side are townhouses. One of those owned by the former mayor of Bloomberg. French consulate has been here since 1952 on our left side here. One of our former governors, Elias Spitzer, lived near the corner. Building is owned by his father. And then inside the park on the right side, you might see a little bit later on, there's a pond there. See that water on the right side? You might see some model boats there. The northern section, meaning our direction, is a giant